Ay, yeah. Ay, ay.
Miracles come while we in the fight. Don't give up and hold him tight. You will have a visible battle scar, but never forget who you are and fight, fight, fight. Hello, and welcome to Embracing the Fight. I am Erica Lamar, your digital creator and host. You know, I created Embracing the Fight to help normalize the conversation surrounding physical and mental health issues and concerns. Well, you know, I've been sharing my story concerning weight loss and thyroid cancer. And, you know, at this point, I am still waiting on the radiologist to give me a call to let me know when I need to come in so I can get those 2 terrible shots and then start the radioactive iodine. I'm not looking forward to it, I'll just be honest, because who likes needles? Not me. And who wants to feel all the wonderful side effects that are described when you do RAI? Now, I know each person is different, and I'm believing God that I won't have any, negative effects or anything like that. I'm just saying, that's the flesh side of me that's like literally screaming. But I know I have to speak life because the power of life and death lies in the tongue. And I'm saying that I'm going to be just fine. I just want to let you guys know I was just kind of joking around with that. But I've said all that to say this. I have prepared my heart and my mind for what's coming forward with the radioactive iodine, even with the isolation portion. Because, once you start RAI, you have to be by yourself because you're basically, you're radioactive. You're emitting radioactive waves, and that's harmful to like pets, pregnant women, and other people. So you don't necessarily want to just be in a big crowd full of people and you kind of glowing when you're not really glowing, but you glowing, you know what I mean? So let's look at it like this. Imagine if I had another option. Would I take it? Absolutely. But because there are no other options that I know of to try, then this is kind of, a last medical resort for me in this instance. So something else that comes from this is just a teeny tiny bit, of stress. And I didn't really put my finger on it until I started talking, to some other people. And they were just kind of telling me about some things that were going on in their life, their day to day. And, one of them, had a little bit of a cold here or there, and the other one had like a strained muscle. But it seemed like those two things were taking them out of their, normal day to day because they are high performers and they are expected, to do well, to perform perfectly each time. They're not really expected to call in because of certain things. And when that level of stress, is placed on you, then it has an impact on you mentally as well. So I kind of wanted to talk about stress just a little bit today. So I was watching the Hey You conference that was broadcasting live from the Potter's house. And when Dr. Why can't I think of what her name is? Oh my gosh, she was amazing too. So just take a moment to watch the Hey You conference, because there was a mental health therapist that was on there who basically was saying that, it's good to have and to hear the word, but at the same time, mental health therapists were created and put out in the world, by God to help folks with their mental health. Sure, you can pray to God, you can read your word. There are a lot of things you can do when it comes to, your spiritual, let's say your spiritual mind. But when it comes to dealing with the world and your mind and how you react and how you feel and how things, come to you, is very, very good if you get a mental health therapist. And I was truly amazed that they offered free mental health counseling, to the people who attended this conference. That to me was groundbreaking, because when I looked, in the crowd, it was so many women there, and there were so many that were struggling with so many different things, because One lady got up and she was saying that, she had just moved to Dallas and she didn't have any friends. She ain't know anybody. She's basically starting over. And she was breaking down because nobody wants to feel like that. Nobody wants to be alone and feel like, they're trapped or stuck in a place. And then there was another lady that they gave this beautiful sash and crown to because she didn't think that she was beautiful. For her life, she, I guess, was made to believe that she was less than. And in that moment, she was surrounded by so many women that either felt that way at some point, or women who were strong and they were trying to give her, give off that positive energy to help her see that, she was beautiful. And when they turned that mirror around to show her her face and they said, just look at yourself, and the tears were flowing, I could hear inside of myself when there were times when I looked in the mirror and I didn't see, something beautiful. I didn't see something amazing. I didn't see something great. I remember looking in the mirror and seeing something broken. But that was because I wasn't feeding myself mentally or spiritually. I was imploding. I was letting everything around me affect me. When things didn't go right at work, I just come home and I would lay down and go to sleep. When I felt like, oh, I'm not going to meet anybody, I'm not going to, do anything that's going to allow me to meet someone, I'm not going to go anywhere, I'm not going to do something, I'm not going to do that, I would immediately feel tired and I would not want to look in the mirror. And then when I started saying, I want to be great, I want to do all these different things, and then my mind started to revert back, when I was in college, when I was in high school, when I was doing all these great things, it was like, what happened? What? And then I could hear the words of the ladies at the Hey You conference. They basically were saying that no one is perfect. Stop beating yourself up. Stop looking back for your former days. Look forward. Be a forward thinker. Think about all the good and all the great that you are. Give yourself some grace. Look in that mirror and affirm yourself. Because if you're waiting for somebody else to come along and do it, what if it doesn't happen? You all right with living beneath who you are for the rest of your life just because somebody else didn't tell you you were great? It's not worth it. So I want you to sit down and consider the things that stress you, the things that take you out of character, those things that make you feel like you're not enough, and squash those things. Don't let those things come to your mind. Don't let those things come to your remembrance. Just take the time to forgive yourself. The bad decision that you made that cost you your life savings, or that bad decision that you made when you married someone that killed your child. I know that's a bit extreme, but I was looking at the news and I saw where this lady was dating this guy. The guy beat her child to death, put the child in the bed. Child was innocent, had nothing to do with this. This lady made a bad choice about the person that she wanted to be with. And she said that she never saw him have any violent tendencies, and she left him, to play with and watch the child while she went to work. How do you come home to kiss your child and your child is cold? I mean, I can't say that I truly understand that because I don't have kids, but I can imagine it would be pretty horrible because you went to work. You trying to provide for your child. Because apparently, I don't know if the guy worked or not or what he had going on, but now this child is gone and there's nothing she could do about it. So she's probably going to beat herself up until she can forgive herself for the mistake that she made. Right, wrong, or indifferent, that child is gone. So then you also have to think about what you decided to eat today. I know I did. I did great, say for lunch, because I had like stir-fried vegetables. But then when I came home, I saw this little eclair that was sitting there calling my name, and I ate it. So it's all about, choices. Sure, I can sit here and say, like I've been saying every week, I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight. But until my actions match my mouth and my mind, it's not gonna happen. Now, when it does happen, you best believe you guys are gonna hear all about it. You're gonna know all about it. Because I want to be able to shout it to the mountaintops. Because I found my problem was whenever I did something, that wasn't so stellar, I constantly remind myself, remember that this happened at this time, and this is what was the result, of whatever this decision was or whatever this choice was. But then when I did something great, it was like, oh, that's just who I am. And I moved on. When instead, if I don't do something so stellar, it's like, you know what? That's not who I am. And next time I have to do something different. And then when I do something great, I'm going to harp on that. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to think about that. I'm going to thank God for that. I'm going to be excited about that. So you got to think about it. If you go to, a football game, and better yet, not even a football game, imagine you seen the game of the century. Do you think the people are going to remember more the guy who caught that Hail Mary pass, or the previous play before, who stepped out of bounds and everybody thought the game was going to be over? Which one you think they're going to remember? They're going to remember that Hail Mary. Ain't nobody going to be thinking about, oh, well, he made a mistake. Whatever. They still won the game because this person came back and, cleaned up the mess. So why can't we do that with ourselves? Why do we hold ourselves to such a stringent standard? Now, you got people that are educators and trainers that come in and they're constantly trying to teach you, the positive and the good, and they're trying to move you forward and educate you so you don't step back, into this negative way of thinking and a negative way of doing things. So why is it so hard to untrain the feeling, the thought of being negative, of speaking negatively? I mean, negative isn't of nature. It's not natural. Let me give you an example. If you go up to a little baby and you smile, baby smiles, right? And what happens if you frown? Sometimes they bust out laughing depending on how crazy your face looks. But baby doesn't know the difference at this, say they're a teeny tiny baby. At that point, they don't know the difference between a frown and a smile until you start adding words and actions along with it. Everything to them appears to be funny. Where does fear come from? Fear is not natural. Now, I have seen some cases, like with animals out in the wild, that's an instinct. Fear is an instinct because they don't want to get eaten. But when I'm saying fear, when you have, let's go back, say that again, with a small child or a little baby. If you're the parent and you're holding this little child's hand and you're crossing the street, that child's going to come with you. That child's not going to snatch you back and pull you down to the ground screaming and hollering, I don't want to go across the street. No, they don't have that fear. They're just going to go with you because they trust you, because you're their parent. You're their protector. So the question is, if we know that if we trust God and we hold on to his hand, why can't we get rid of this fear? Why can't we get rid of this negativity? Why can't we get rid of all of these things that are holding us back from the level of greatness that he has for us? I ask myself that every day. I ask myself that all the time, because I sit here and I say, you know what? What is there really to lose? Because I'll be honest, I have lost some things in my life. But every time I lost something, God gave it back to me so much greater, so much more. And it's silly to think that I would want to hold on to something when I know something even better, even greater, is on the other side of the stuff that I'm holding on to. So sometimes we just have to let go. You hear people say, let go, let God all the time. Let go, and watch God work. Thank you so much for watching Embracing the Fight. I want to encourage you. I want you to be the very best version of yourself. I want to be able to see you out in the street and know that the words that I'm saying, they're helping you. They're helping you make different decisions about things that you're going through in your life, because that's exactly it. You're going through. You're not supposed to stay there. You're supposed to go through whatever it is, learn the lessons, grow, and move forward. From that point, you just got to let God have his way. Thy will be done. Say, Lord, thy will be done in my life. You'll be amazed at what he can do. Again, I say thank you for tuning in to this episode of Embracing the Fight. I am Erica Lamar, your digital creator and host. Have an absolutely amazing day.